I hate how you play Cube so much. It bothers me so bad.
Everybody's trying to do dumb shit. I'm just like, you know what? Fair cards.
That's not the spirit of Cube, and you goddamn.
Listen, I cast the 11 mana Ulamog off of Forest and Island. I might have had Nissa Who Shakes the World help a little bit, but...
That helps a little bit.
And the Garruk that untaps 2 lands. So I might have done... It might have been a little bit faster than I probably should have, but never lucky. I never open up power.
I'm going to do a Cube draft as we're doing this. Show you how real men do it.
You don't know how to Cube. This is
That's
how
all I know how to do.
This is how you build mono white, win games.
I just don't know how to Magic online. See, like I clicked it.
There it is. Vintage Cube. Oh, hell yeah.
See, didn't work.
Yeah, you have to buy into the thing. You're down here, bud.
Oh.
Yeah, gun. Matt learns Magic Online. Part 1. Buying tickets. What is up, you soggy biscuits? Welcome back to another episode of the Fetch and Shock podcast. I am your host, a well-timed Armageddon, Tyler, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, the guy who's learning as he goes, Matt. Matt, what is going on, dude?
I am doing some vintage Cube.
Yeah, I can't believe this is the first time we've done this while actually recording, but I'm watching draft the vintage Cube on screen share on Skype as we're recording. So this could either go
if it sounds like I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But this is our second episode in quarantine.
This is our second episode in quarantine. You have not left your house for a long ass time.
I mean, but is that different than normal?
Fair. I guess it's not.
Yeah, it's really hard to qualify this as quarantine when I'm just like still doing the same shit that I used to do.
Yeah, literally nothing. Staying at home.
Yeah, I literally am just sitting at my computer, sometimes watching Magic stuff, sometimes playing Magic stuff, sometimes jerking off, sometimes maybe a combination of all three.
About to say all of those things at once.
Yeah, just one hand on my mouse, have my 2 monitors, Magic the Gathering on the one side, and then some YouTube video of Magic on the other side, and then just like my phone propped up on Pornhub like on my keyboard. What you know about multitasking?
That's good multitasking. And disgusting at once, all in the same vein.
Listen, you
all
gotta
right, Tyler,
do what
I have
you
a
need
question for you.
Yes.
Path or Golos?
Path Exile.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Continue.
I love this. We'll go over your deck once you're done drafting it. I guess we could talk about the best thing that's happened to the coronavirus since it started, which is the fact that we got Vintage Cube out of the blue, baby. I was so excited.
I know, this is my literal favorite way to play Magic.
Oh my god! And we've talked about it only like a couple hundred times, but it's just always sweet.
It's never not sweet.
Always sweet. And we also I heard whispers that it was going to come out, and did we get an announcement that they were definitely going to release it?
My announcement was you saying, "Hey, Vintage Cube is up," and I said, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, that makes sense to me. But I learned from one of our listeners, Dennis. He added me he added the Fetch and Shock account on the Wizards site there, or the Wizards post that says, "Hey, Vintage Cube's going to be up." And I saw the notification on my phone. I'm like, "Oh, what could this possibly be?" Looked at it and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's time to party."
Cube being up.
Yeah, it's 100% time to get down. So it's sure, this whole quarantine thing is awful, and we're all dealing with it. But we do get Vintage Cube, so it's not all bad.
Definitely not all bad.
And
we got Vintage Cube.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would be sitting inside doing nothing already. Take Port here.
No.
Oh my goodness, why would you not take Port? I love Port. We're going to get so distracted. Fuck.
Oh, 100% we're going to get distracted. I forgot that you could see my screen. I'm like, how did he know that?
I'm reading your mind. I know what cards you're looking at.
It's just a good mix-up, because usually the only time we have this is around the holidays.
Yeah, it's the Holiday Cube, aka Vintage Cube.
So it's nice to just get it out of the blue. And I honestly think that it was specifically for people being inside. They knew people were going to be home and playing it.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. It's Wizards throwing everybody a bone. Well, there's tons of companies out there who are I think Hulu was giving away, oh, okay, Matt just opens Black Lotus, that's cool.
Should probably see what else is in the pack. But yeah, Black Lotus is the way to go.
No need to even look at the rest of the pack. It's all garbage.
In comparison, yes.
God damn it, I'm already so distressed.
Better be lucky than good, baby.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, we're all sitting here doing nothing, and Wizards like, okay, we're gonna throw you a bone. And like, there's so many other companies doing that. Hulu's doing it. Like they were giving away like free access to like whatever the Hulu Prime thing is.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, and I think that that's something that you're gonna see a lot of other like streaming companies do. Is just like open the floodgates and just let people like live, so they're not like driving themselves up a wall.
Well, the majority of people aren't in the position where they can work from home. I
Yeah.
am in one of those positions.
Yeah, so
Granted,
you've been
I've been busier now than I am normally,
great.
which is wild to think about.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I've been about the same amount of busy.
Doing jack diddly shit.
Yeah, I told you I've been multitasking. You
Sure.
take Fracture Identity here.
You think over?
It's one of the best cards in the for sure.
Oh. Oh, it gives you a token of it, right?
Yep.
Right.
We're gonna keep a tally. Actually, somebody else keep a tally. I think this is like the 4th or 5th time we've gotten distracted by the cube.
It'll be way
Oh, it's probably going to be upwards of
more.
or more. Who knows? But yeah, cubes. We're just getting lost on cube. No, this is the whole quarantine thing is forcing people to kind of enjoy Magic in different ways because everything has been canceled. Like up until like 2 weeks ago, there were GPs and stuff. Now nothing until further notice.
Yeah, actual nothing. Everything has been canceled, which makes sense.
Yeah, so it's forcing people to get
limit exposure.
It's for social distancing, dude. But it's forcing people to get more creative with how they're consuming Magic, which I think is cool. Like before,
100%.
you had to like everybody had their weekly grind where after work they would go and like watch Magic content or like play Magic online stuff. Now there's a ton of people online playing like on Arena and stuff and on Magic Online. I think I said this before, but like there are going to be new Magic players.
Yeah, just because of this, they're not gonna have shit else to do. So
exactly. So I think Wizards should do like some sort of promotional stuff to make it easier to jump into things like Magic Arena for actual factual new people.
You mean like a little package that says, "Hey, if you're download this and play, you get X stuff for free or whatever."
Exactly. And it wouldn't be anything crazy, but it would be enough to get people off of the ground. Because that is the one thing about Magic Arena. It is such a grind if you don't want to put actual factual human dollars into it.
Yeah, I guess that one too is like it's kind of like an RPG where you have to build up to stuff.
Exactly. And like even outside of like actually playing Magic, just interacting with Magic. Giannato Adasso, the listener who won the Pauper deck, they posted earlier this week because they're in Italy, so they're like full on quarantined. They posted that they had plans of getting together with their friends and doing a booster draft of the mystery boosters, and now they just have they are every single day they're posting a picture of the mystery booster box that they ordered, just in different positions, like alone in their house, and it cracks me up. I love it.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, and I love when people are doing stuff like that. Like Magic Man Sam, he's like blogging every single day because he put himself on like quarantine, like not leaving his house. And like Jeremy from Missouri MTG, the proxy guy, like tweeted out something that said, "Send me a cover of a song that like is from your childhood." And then Jeremy just sent a video of him singing like a My Chemical Romance song, like so poorly.
That's fantastic.
With like no background music whatsoever. He's just straight up acapella singing it like in the most awful way possible. And I sat in my room and just howled at that for like 15 minutes straight.
That's really funny.
So good, dude.
I can dig it.
Yeah, so Magic Twitter, there's zero drama because there's no events that people can get salty about.
Yeah, nothing to go on.
This is as pure as Magic Twitter has ever been.
You think?
Yes. Maybe before Magic Twitter existed, maybe it was more pure then. But now it's just like at a level where I'm finally happy with where Magic Twitter is setting itself at.
Yeah, no one's really bitching. No one's yelling at each other.
Yeah, it's just like people are just sharing memes and like just having actual conversations because we have so much time that you can only fill a day so much with arguing about people online.
I've seen some really funny coronavirus memes and like day 7 quarantine, like people doing funny shit.
Yeah, doing absurd things.
One of my favorites thus far has been people playing tic-tac-toe with their turtles.
Pets or shit like that. And they lose and just give the turtle the finger. I saw that. I fucking died.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that's just so legendary. So maybe there are good things coming.
I wouldn't go that far.
You take the good with the bad. I'm an optimist.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what did you open? I turned your screen off.
Recall.
Oh, never punished.
Yeah, well,
Matt Bob.
Ancestral. This is a wild pack, dude.
Wow,
Ancestral,
this pack's
Channel,
insane.
Ugin,
Consecrated Sphinx, Courser
Ancient.
Portal.
Yeah, there's some good shit in this pack. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
go
put
ahead
some-
and windmill slam that Ancestral though.
Yeah. Okay, back to talking about Magic.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were talking
I
about
just had to.
Magic Twitter. Speaking of Magic Twitter, Matt, we had a good amount of response to our Twitter question of the week.
What was that?
Our Twitter question was, we wanted to hear about what other people's top limited formats were. So we had, Dennis shot us one. His top 5 is a solid one. It's Eldritch Moon, Origins, Original Theros, Cons, and then Modern Masters 2015.
Yeah, 2015 is so good.
And I legitimately forgot how good Origins draft was until I drafted it like last week.
Yeah,
That
it's
draft format's sweet.
fucking bananas good.
And then Kevin Flog, he was also a big fan of Triple Cons. People are loved that set.
Triple Cons, dude. I'm telling you, it was one of the most fun formats.
And like when you say things, I just kind of shrug it off. It's just like whatever. But when other people say things, I'm just like, okay, maybe I'll think about it. And he mentioned Triple Cons, and also like Dennis mentioned Triple Cons. I'm like, ah, shit. I guess I gotta have to go back and like look at this format. And the one thing that I saw that I forgot existed was Secret Plan. I loved that deck.
Yeah, the morph. Hey, pause real quick. Land tax or mana leak?
Mana Leak, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry. Yeah, but that's the one that deals with the morphs.
Yeah, it's the 1 blue, 1 green. Face down creatures get a +0/+1, and then when you flip something up, you draw a card.
Yeah, that thing's so good.
Man, I love that deck.
Yeah, because you could easily play 4 colors in that, no problem.
Yeah, you could just like jam 4 colors and then just have a bunch of morph creatures and then just like shoot them out there if you can't actually cast them and then just throw them under the bus. Or if you can, you could just surprise get somebody.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Just
Yeah. Man, I love that. And then Dave Morris, he echoed my sentiment. He said Conspiracy 2 was top of the food chain for him, which I can 100% get down with. And when he said
I never drafted that one.
oh, it was like as good as Conspiracy. Like they were both very, very. But when he said Conspiracy 2, that got me thinking. We need a Conspiracy 3 because how cool would that be to do a draft of like first pack is Conspiracy 1, second pack Conspiracy 2, third pack Conspiracy, and then just same Conspiracy rolls, just everybody just go beat the shit out of each other, but be able to do that draft. That would be so sick.
Yeah, I could get behind that for sure. Do the conspiracy block.
Yeah, it's like quote unquote block draft, which is so cool. Oh, I love it. So and like draft formats are so subjective too. Like a million people are just like Cons, so good, and me over here, I'm just like meh. I will draft some Theros before I draft Cons. Honestly, especially new Theros, dude.
That's fucking bananas to me. I would do cons and cons and cons for days.
Is that like one of the formats that you would never get sick of? Because that's how I am with
Oh yeah, I could do cons.
Conspiracy.
I could do it on repeat because it's never really ever the same.
How many Cons drafts do you think you'd have to do before you're over it?
A lot. I
Really?
drafted the shit out of that format. Yeah,
I just missed the boat. You know what draft format I could do and never get sick of?
there.
No, dude, Vintage Cube.
Vintage Cube. Yeah,
That's what we call a transition.
got there.
So Vintage Cube. Matt, looks like your deck is done, bud.
Yeah, pretty close to it. And I get the land tax too.
Yeah, you're on your last couple picks. I think maybe a good little midpoint for this. Let's build your deck.
Hold on, do I land tax or Lyra?
I don't really like land tax and cube.
Oh, too late. Already took it.
It might not make your deck. You have a lot of very powerful cards. So building this deck I think is going to be really fun. And for people out there who have Magic Online or have access or interest to doing this that are kind of wary because it's Vintage Cube and it's kind of intimidating. Like building
you
this
can literally
deck
do anything you want. Yeah.
might help people kind of get a little bit closer to on board. We're helping. We're here to help the public. So let's just go over some of the noteworthy cards in your deck. A little card called the Black Lotus. You also have Ancestral Recall. You have Brainstorm. You have Preordain.
I think
have-
Brainstorm's actually getting cut because I only have one fetch land.
Oh, that does have an impact. You have Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare. You have Balance. You have Mana Leak. You have how many Gideons? 2 Gideons? 3 Gideons.
Fucking
You have
tribal Gideon over
Gideon
here.
Jura, Gideon Blackblade, and Gideon Ally of Zendikar. You have Jace the Mind Sculptor and Jace Beleren. you have Cryptic Command, you have Fraying Sanity, you have Sphinx's Revelation, you have Wrath of God and Day of Judgment, and Terminus.
I think Terminus is getting the cut.
Yeah, I don't think you need both of them. You also have Time Warp, which I'm not crazy about.
I just have a lot of Planeswalkers.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really love land tax in this.
Even hit Daddy's land drops.
I think you might just naturally do that from all the drawing of the cards.
Yeah, I got a lot of card draw.
And balance is kind of weak if you already have Day of Judgment and Wrath of God and Sword and Path.
Their creatures, bro.
What are you trying to get there? Artifacts, bud.
Balance doesn't hit artifacts.
Oh, that's right, it doesn't. Then why would you even keep it in the deck? Doesn't hit artifacts. Artifacts is the best part about Vintage Cube, dude.
Because it's just another sweeper.
Yeah, you have a point. You already have so many removal spells.
Yeah,
God,
probably gonna cut balance from the main board.
Well, while you're figuring out your last few cuts, I guess I could talk about my Vintage Cube experience so far. Vintage Cube has been out for today.
Actual factual today.
Just today. And we have it for another 12 or 13 days, which I would like a little bit longer, but beggars can't be choosers. But we were preparing for the podcast, and we jumped on Skype and we're talking with each other, and you asked me how much Magic I played, and I was like in the middle of a cube draft right then and there. And I shared my screen with you, and I don't know if anybody's ever heard an eye roll before, but I could hear your eyes roll.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Because of my screen popped up on your screen, and you're like, fuck, he's playing mono white. But dude, my deck is sweet. I haven't played the last game, but the first two games were like quick 2-0s. You were sitting there watching both of them.
Both ended with a timely Armageddon.
Yeah, turns out that's a callback to the name. So I'm just playing mono white because of course I am. But I have some hitters. I have 3 swords. I have Sword of Body and Mind, Sword of Feast and Famine, Sword of Light and Shadow. I have Jitte. I have Skull Clamp. I have 2 Moxen. I have Stoneforge, Thalia, Mom, Sun Titan, Walking Ballista, Armageddon, Gideon, Hero Bladehold. Like, the list just goes on and on. This deck is wild. The only thing that I feel like I'm missing out of it is like some kind of removal. I have 1 Winds of Abandon. Yeah, Batterskull would have been good. I passed up on Batterskull because in the Batterskull pack, because I did actually see it, because there's a chance that you don't see it. But yeah, in the Batterskull pack, it was Stoneforge Mystic and Batterskull, and I'm just like, gotta take the Stoneforge at that point. Just have to.
You had all the swords. You had a bunch of shit.
Yeah, the deck is wild. But I guess we could cover like best practices for cubing, because I think that's the part where people have a hard time. Like, the learning curve for cube is really weird because it's different than any other format. Like most formats, if you're just doing like normal booster draft, like let's say you meet up with your friends after the quarantine, when you meet up with your friends and you are ripping open like the Theros. 9 times out of 10, when you open up like a rare in that, if it's a good rare, you're just taking that over pretty much everything else. With cube though, every card is good.
There's so many powerful things.
Yeah, in like any given pack that you open, you could have like 10 first pickable cards.
Easily, yeah.
And like probably 15 of the cards in the pack, so that's all of them, are first picks in their respective sets that they were actually printed in. But in this format, no, everything is so good.
Yeah, like I was waffling over Jace and I forget what the other one was.
Wheel of Fortune, right?
Wheel of Fortune, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess the first rule of thumb with cube is you want to prioritize your mana above pretty much everything else.
Yeah, it's a good way to...
Yeah, it's hard to not pick like a fetch land over like a medium card, or like a dual land over a medium card. You should always take the land if you are kind of waffling back and forth on a pick.
If you're worried about your mana at all, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because also, if you have good mana in your deck, that can kind of dictate where you go in the draft. Whereas if you are just taking all of the good cards that you see, you could end up with a pile of very good cards
that don't do shit.
Not have the ability to cast.
Yep.
Which is the last place you want.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And also, cube is cool because it caters to pretty much every style of player, where some limited formats don't really do that. Like Khans of Tarkir, since we've talked about it a bunch here already. It was hard to be a control deck in that format.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, see, I didn't think it was very easy to be a control deck in that format.
It's like a 4-color control deck, but you're controlling with like good creatures, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like as far as like a spell-based control deck.
Yeah, not really a thing.
Or in like Return to Ravnica, triple Return to Ravnica, a control deck in that format was undoable because you were just getting kicked in the face.
You were dead on turn 3 or 4.
Exactly. But in Cube, like you could easily be the blue-white control deck like Matt is right now. Or if that's not your speed, you can do what I do and just jam white creatures and red creatures and green creatures into a deck and go to town.
Yeah, so this is a pretty solid 40.
Yeah, how did your deck end up?
17 lands.
Seems right.
Ancestral Vision, Black Lotus, Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshare, Ancestral, Preordain, Wall of Omens, Winds of Abandon, Mana Leak, Thing in the Ice, Vanishing Light, Frantic Search, Jace Beleren, Day of Judgment, Gideon Ally of Zendikar, Wrath of God, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Cryptic Command, Gideon Jura, Time Warp, Fractured Identity, Torrential Gearhulk, Sphinx's Revelation.
That's a very solid deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
Daddy's happy with that one.
I would be happy with this too. I'm like, that's the best part about Cube. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, 100%. You don't have to piss around.
Yeah, and if you really want to, if you have an idea,
can't piss around.
You can force a deck too, which is kind of cool. Not often in a format can you force something and it be like good, but because all of the cards are such a high quality, you can force whatever you want in Cube and somehow have a reasonable deck at the end of it.
I've forced Storm and ended up with 0 Storm cards.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Where I just make a ton of mana and burn them out, or I play Big Dumb Idiots and just storm up and then, oh, here's an Ulamog. Have fun dealing with that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird, cool backdoor ways to do that too. Like with all the rituals and stuff, you could just ritual into a really early, like Eldrazi Titan.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, or you could do the weird backdoor, like get a bunch of mana and then just do, like you said, like the fireball thing. Or they have the 1,000-Year Storm. Like you could just land a 1,000-Year Storm, cast a couple spells, and then just play a lightning bolt, copy it 5 times, and then your opponent's dead.
Yep, 100% a real thing you can do.
So cool. Like when else could you do that?
You cannot.
Like Cube is the perfect format for the people who are like, who love playing limited and also like Commander, because you get to do like some very Commander-y things, like just Commander, big goofy spells.
Commander-esque.
Like there's some cards that I can only imagine being able to cast in Commander and Cube. That's it.
Yeah, like Izzet Signet.
Izzet Signet, but even like the powerful cards like Skull Clamp, you can really only cast that and have it effective in Cube and Commander.
A little bit in Vintage.
Yeah, but you haven't. I haven't seen one of those in Vintage in a long, long time.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Also, you get to do like Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity is one of the best cards in your deck, and I think in the Cube in general. And the only other really place that ever sees play is Commander.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Which is so cool. I freaking love Cube. Speaking of that, since we have just like infinite free time, there's a chance that I might just go ahead and just stream some Cube.
Yeah, I would be down with that.
Yeah, Matt, would you want to jump in?
I would probably be able to, yeah. Just hop on and see what's up.
Yeah, just because, I mean, everybody is free. Nobody has anything to do. Jumping on in Cuban? There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Would you do that on Twitch?
Yes, I would definitely do it on the Fetch and Shock Twitch for those interested. I mean, and if you keep an eye on the Twitter too, I'll post like, oh, in an hour we're going live. And then when we're like 10 minutes out, I'll say in 10 minutes we're going up. So I try to give people some kind of notice.
Yeah, and I'm sure some folks will be hopping on there.
Well, Matt, speaking of Cube, and speaking of things that you want to pick up in Cube, oh, you're going to die.
No, I'm not.
Oh, wait, no, you have...
I was like, what are you talking about?
Got him.
I literally have all the removal spells. So my opponent just tinkered into a Blightsteel.
Yeah, that's something that happens. No, Matt, we just got done talking about what like your first step in Cube is. Do you remember what it was?
I don't know.
Priority number 1 was mana fixing, Matt.
Yeah, this bozo is playing something. Bant, Tinker.
You know what are good first picks in Cube if you're looking to mana fix.
Fetchlands.
You did it. You found it.
I knew you were going there.
I gave you a trail of breadcrumbs, bud, and you just got there.
Yeah, so the new secret lair.
Fetchlands. Well, this is like a brand new secret lair, too. This thing is wild. So for those of you who are not familiar, we had the 450th secret lair come out?
Or
at least be announced.
737.
Yeah, I think you might be forgetting one or two, but it's somewhere around that. Yeah, we got another secret lair, but this one's extra special. Matt, this one is only available in LGSs.
Yeah, that was a turn they took.
Yeah, and it is secret lair Fetchlands. So it is all of the Zendikar fetch land. So not the ones that came out in Concentric here, but the Zendikar ones. And they're all in one box. They are not foil, and you only get one of each. But if you need fetch lands, this is a place to get them. Except for I don't think it's actually going, which sucks.
This is going to be something good for Commander players who want one of them. Because if you
nailed
want
it.
a play set of these, you're spending a good amount of money to piss around and get these.
But even still, the worst part about it is, which I hate, is that they're only, from what I know, there's two big drawbacks. One, each LGS is only going to get 10 of these, which is going to make them incredibly hard to get.
Yeah, it's going to make it very, very hard.
Yeah. Second of all, the price point of these, we don't have an MSRP for Wizards anymore. So the shop's going to be able to make its own price point. They said that they are probably going to retail about as much as Commander Anthologies did. That was like $130.
Yeah, that's a lot of friggin' money.
And Commander Anthologies was 4 deck. This is 5 card.
Well, it is also one of the biggest things ever with fetch lands. People love fetch lands. They're so good.
Yeah, but just imagine like if this is how you want to try to get a playset of fetches, you're better off just going and buying the playsets.
Probably. They just don't have the super sweet new art.
The art is really freaking good,
which is a big deal.
And I'll have to fact check this. But like Seb McKinnon has an art. I think this might be Seb's first land.
You think?
Yeah, I genuinely do. Let me actually, let me search it real quick. I'm willing to venture that this is his first land card, which is wild to think. But yeah, he's been a Magic artist known for doing incredible art, but not one known for his lands. But yeah, the Misty Rainforest in this is done by Seb.
That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, he does have another land. He did do Silent Clearing, the black-white Horizon land.
Oh, I was trying to think what you were talking about. The one that pings you for something and then you gain, so it's white-black, you pay a life, add white or black, and then for 1, you tap it, sacrifice a draw card.
Draw card, correct.
Okay. I always forget what those are called.
Oh, he also has done Unknown Shores from Original Theros. So this is only his like 3rd land in Magic, and it's one of the best lands in the entire game. Like Misty Rainforest is arguably the 2nd best fetch land.
No, probably Polluted Delta and then Scalding Tarn. So 3rd best, I guess.
Yeah, I would say Scalding Tarn. You think Polluted Delta is above Tarn?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I do. Black is.
It's a blue fetch. That's the big thing.
The blue fetches are the best. It honestly doesn't matter. They're blue fetches. They're all the same.
Yeah, blue fetch does the thing that the blue fetch does, which is get blue sources. And turns out people like casting blue spells.
Who would have thunk?
I mean, those people are wrong because those spells are clearly not white spells.
Blue spells are the best spells. I hate to break it to you, bud.
Except for white spells. I don't think you get it. You don't understand the power of white cards, Matthew. Matt, you're playing white cards in your cube draft right now.
Yeah, but I'm also playing blue cards.
But you win with the white cards.
No, I guess I did technically just win with a white card.
I would say you just won a game with a white card.
I fractured identity a Gideon Jura that was at 10 loyalty, which
you do get to keep the loyalty, don't you?
No, it just exiles it, and then I get a copy of it.
Oh, it exiles it. You don't take the thing. You exile it and get a copy.
Yeah, it would come in with whatever.
I mean, still ain't bad.
No, it ain't bad.
Not bad at all. White spells, Matt. Obviously white spells.
I did just win that game handily. I don't know what the fuck to do. Ooh.
Shrine of Burning Rage. That one's a good one.
That's a good one.
This is either going to be somewhat entertaining or just completely bad. Like, this could be our worst episode or one of a decent episode. I'm waiting to hear back.
It's probably going to be pretty bad because I'm spacey because I love playing cube. But it's okay.
Such a fuck. You're so selfish, Matt.
I haven't been super spacey. If anything, I've insulted you much less.
Yeah, that's super uncharacteristic of you.
I'm a nicer person.
Since the quarantine. It's changed us so much.
It has. Oh, that was stupid. I should have played Hollowed Fountain last turn. Punt.
You moron.
Punt. That's all right.
Everybody
I'm leaving.
Jump on Twitter.
He's playing around Mana League, bro.
And insult Matt.
Tinker. Come on, bro. Do it.
Don't you love the world where your opponent plays Shrine of Burning Rage and then tinkers it away?
Oko.
You're our boy. Our favorite chiseled friend.
I now see why he's playing green. That makes sense.
Yeah, Oko's a pretty powerful Magic card. Actually, Matt, you know what green is a good segue to?
Our top 5.
No, our spice of
Oh.
the week.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You got a green card in there, huh?
Oh, buddy, it's more than just one green card. So since the coronavirus has everybody in their houses, I've decided that I was going to start cooking and getting a little spicy. So I'm going to bring the spice of the week this week. Chef Tyler is in the kitchen, and I actually have a legacy deck because now that we no longer have Breach in the format, that is letting people brew.
Yeah, which always happens when something gets banned. It's just like, okay.
And to be 100% fair, this deck is not of my own creation. There's no way I would have ever thought of this deck because it's not my style whatsoever. But the second that I saw it, I was just jaw to the ground like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It is so good. And this seems like something you would be absolutely ecstatic about.
Waiting, boy.
Matt, this is mono green. I believe they're calling it Titanic Dryad.
Jesus Christ.
It is a legacy deck that is built around Dryad of Elysian Grove, Field of the Dead,
okay.
and Valakut. This is a legacy deck.
I guess the Dryad doesn't die to, what's it called?
Lightning Bolt?
Lightning Bolt, yeah.
It doesn't die to Lightning Bolt. This deck is sweet. So I'm going to go through the creatures for you real quick. It has 1 Dryad Arbor. It has 1 Scavenging Ooze. It has 4 Dryad of Elysian Grove. It has 3 Ramunap Excavators, 2 Tireless Trackers, and 4 Primeval Titans.
Jesus Christ. So just a souped up modern primetime.
Yeah. And also, let me reiterate, this is a legacy deck. None of those cards are not legal in modern, but we are going to get to those cards. For example, it has 4 Green Sun Zeniths in the deck, which for obvious reasons. You're making a ton of mana and it just like goes and gets whatever you need. It is playing 1 Life from the Loam and 4 Once Upon a Times. It is also doing like the traditional like prison strategy with decks like this too. So it is playing 4 Chalice of the Void and 4 Mox Diamond. And the rest of the main deck is finished off with 2 Sylvan Lab. The other 26 cards are all land.
That's a lot of lands. It is. It's just a souped up version of primetime in modern.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's a lot of it is fetch lands, and it's playing like some snow-covered forests. It's playing a bayou, stuff like that. It's playing 2 Ancient Tombs, 3 Cavern of Souls, 2 Field of the Dead. It's playing a Mazavith and a Karakas. Playing 2 Valakuts, 4 Wastelands, and everything else is actual mana-producing lands or fetch land. So the whole entire point of this deck is like resolving a primetime or just doing natural land drop things and just abusing either Field of the Dead or Valakut to kill your opponent. I am so on board with this deck.
Yeah, you weren't wrong when I said that I would like that.
Doesn't it? Seems right up your alley. And the best part about this deck is how streamlined the sideboard is. Like, the sideboard is a thing of beauty. It is 1 Bojuka Bog, 3 Abrupt Decay, 2 Collector Uff, 1 Crozen Grip, 4 Leyline of the Void, 4 Mindbreak. That's it.
That's pretty straightforward. I guess the biggest weakness is like Dredge.
And I get, but
like
that is
Storm
where like
variants.
the Leyline of the Void comes in, and then Mindbreak Trap. So you just like jam 4 main board issues or 4 sideboard solutions to like those matchups. I still don't know if that makes them great. I mean, you are playing Scavenging Ooze in the main, so you do have the ability to kind of fight back against Storm by eating their graveyard. So it makes them not be able to go off with Past in Flames.
I think that's the biggest draw. Like, you're just going to lose to those linear decks because grinding, Jesus Christ, this deck can grind. Or at least it seems like it can.
Oh, for sure it can. And the list that I'm looking at right now, it is the list by Pro Midnights. That's his Magic Online username. He won the Legacy Challenge on March 15th with this deck. Like, actually took it down with this pile of cards.
Well, that will happen in a format like Legacy. People were so slow to change.
That this homie just found this, was probably jamming it, but then like could not beat all of the Breach decks that were in the format. And then Breach got banned, and he just rubbed his hands together and said, time to get down to business, and just went to it.
Yeah, just time to get in.
I love it. Oh, dude, this deck is so good.
It works, so you're not going to hear me bitching about it.
And it's got a ton of like different fetch lands in it to benefit from the Field of the Dead
I think
combo.
that's probably the spiciest one. That and using all the banned cards like Once Upon a Time.
In Green Sun, yeah. And like
Well, yeah,
Sylvan
you literally
Library
just-
is just value city, and being able to fetch like a ton with Sylvan Library. Like Ramming Up Excavators actually seems like one of the like sneaky best cards in this, because you're going to have the ability to like wasteland your opponent into oblivion, or just even getting back fetch lands and just going through, just having the time of your life.
So what's it do? It just wins with Valakut. How does that work with Wasteland being so popular in the format?
I think that is where like I said, Ramming Up Excavator being like one of the heroes of this deck. That seems like it's so good, because it like insulates you from Wasteland while also making your Wastelands really, really powerful. Because that's the issue with Wasteland decks, like versus each other. It's like you're both kind of in a holding pattern. Ramming Up Excavator by itself breaks that stance.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then Dryad just giving you the ability to just have all of the different kinds of lands, like you're just having your cake and eating it too.
You're not really worried about your mana base. You're always going to have all the
You're
colors
gonna have what
you
you
need, and yeah.
And it's
And
a
then at
mono
a certain
green deck with
point-
all of these different colored sources in it. And it just like doesn't matter. And it's playing Once Upon a Time to get value off the free spell. The 4 Chalice of the Void probably go a long way in the tough matchups, like in the like Miracles matchup. It shuts off all of their ways, so you can just like kill them quick without having to worry about them like cantripping through and finding answers. If you can just land a turn 1 Chalice on 1 against Storm, like this deck can just run away with it. I feel like this deck has a lot of play to it, which is so cool
Well, that's why that deck in Modern was getting dangerous,
because of the play that it has.
because of the play that it has. It just has so many freaking options
Now,
that it has so many angles of attack that are hard to interact with.
Now, how much worse did that deck get though with the banning of Once Upon a Time?
I don't think that much worse. Definitely worse.
But at least a
Not-
little bit worse, yeah.
Yeah, not that much worse though.
But like this deck gets to jam 4 of them because it's Legacy and 4 Green Sun. Like it just having your cake and eating it too is what this deck is all about. And I am not a huge like green deck person. Like I hate Elves with a passion, mostly because it's the Predator to Death and Taxes. But this is finally a mono green deck that I can actually see myself getting behind.
Yeah, it does seem very fun. It is a very spicy boy too.
I am just hoping I never play against this deck. I think there's a 0% chance I win these games, any games against this.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever beating that deck.
No,
The
not
Dryad-
a million
If
bazillion
they
years.
ever get a Dryad, you just lose.
On the spot. Yeah, it does not feel good for me. But I knew you'd be interested in that. Are you proud of me for bringing the spice this week?
I am. You said you had one, and I had one too. So I'll just save mine. I'll keep it in the queue.
Ooh, next week. That's a spoiler for next week. Yeah, I guess I will let you back in the kitchen next week. I had to show that I also have the chops in the kitchen and can go online and find weird and interesting decks. And green decks too.
You were able to do it.
Matt, how do you feel about green cards?
I like green cards.
Would you happen to have maybe like a top 5 favorite green cards of all time?
Probably.
Huh. I think I might also have maybe a list of 5 green cards that are my favorite of all time.
I could probably find 5. See, it's funny because I already found.
Maybe that might be some foreshadowing into our top 5 of them. Yeah, so this week, to celebrate a little bit of St. Patty's Day, we're going to go over the top 5 green cards, our top 5 favorite green cards of all time. Now, this list was kind of hard for me because I'm not a massive fan of like competitively strong green cards. I do like green cards in uncompetitive formats. One of my favorite
Hey.
archetypes in Cube.
Hey, hold on one second.
Oh,
How
click
do I-
on Swords of Plowshares. Click on it. Click on the target. Or hit OK. Hit OK. Now click on
Oh.
that, and then and then click on Gideon.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just an
Yeah,
idiot.
no, you're good. Because I was like it hasn't selected it yet, but I forgot that you can't choose Sphinx's Red because it's an expo.
And then I can block this dum dum.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game.
How do I block?
You are already in. You did that in a wrong order.
No, so I'm dumb. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you took 3, but it's fine. You're still gonna run away with this game, I think.
I don't think so. He has an active Oko.
Yeah, but also you have Fractured Identity.
Oh yeah, I can take his Oko. Right.
Yes.
God, I love that card.
Yeah, I told you Fractured Identity is insane.
Yeah, it's real good. You're not wrong.
So Matt, do you have any honorable mentions for top 5 green cards of all time?
I do actually.
I think I have some as well, but I will let you get your honorable mentions out.
So my honorable mentions are 2. One we just talked about, the Green Titan.
Primeval Titan.
Primetime Titan, yes.
He is also one of my honorable mentions. I am not fond of that card, but it is a cool card that I appreciate.
I can get behind that.
I know, but you actually like that card, so I can understand why that's one of your honorable mentions. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not in your top 5.
It's not my top 5. It's bonkers.
Pretty stacked. Any other big honorable mentions for you?
Veil of Summer.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so fucking powerful.
It is so nuts. That card's...
And then Green Sun Zenith, which was also in that deck, ironically.
Green Sun Zenith, also in my honorable mentions. I like that. I think I have a couple other honorable mentions. One of them is Life from the Loam. I really like Life from... I love that card. Have always loved that. Big fan. Another one is Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf's in there, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like casting Tarmogoyf, so it's hard to put it in, but it's been such an important part of one of my favorite formats for such a long time that I can't not at least mention it. And then my next one is just like big idiot creatures, like Avenger of Zendikar, Terastodon, Woodfall Primus, cards like that are just super fun. Like Avenger of Zendikar is such a cool card to cast in Commander. It's like hard for me not to put it in every green deck because it's such a great card.
Yeah, that one is really good. I forgot about that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's hard to not play that in a green deck because it just ends the game. It's like one of those things where it feels like the green Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah, it's just something that it's real bad.
So good. Well, who wants to go first for their number 5 pick?
I can go number 5.
All right, let's hear what yours is.
Glimpse of Nature.
Ooh, Glimpse is a good one. That should have been one of my honorable mentions for sure. Good one.
Yeah, it's super powerful. It's banned in Modern.
Yeah, so Glimpse, for those of you who don't know, who don't play Legacy, it is a green card that says when you cast a creature, draw a card. And so Elves really enjoys that because it turns out they're casting a ton of creatures and they want to draw more creatures to cast. So they just do that. Yeah, that's a really good number 5. My number 5 is actually Sylvan Library.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that one.
Ooh, buddy, come on now. Sylvan Library. It's the bluest green card there is.
It is the bluest green card there is.
Which is one of the reasons why I like it so much. Again, a staple card in Legacy. It's a 2-mana enchantment that in your upkeep you look at the top 3 cards of your library, or in your draw step, you look at the top 3 cards of your library, and you can pay 4 life to draw the card, or you have to put 2 of them back on top of your library. So that card has a lot of play to it. And I can't even tell you how many times in Legacy, in paper, that my opponent has had like a Sylvan Library, and then they cast a Brainstorm in their draw step, and then immediately both hands go up, and we're just like, Judge, come watch this.
Yeah, figure this out for us.
Because that is such a wild interaction where if the Brainstorm resolves before the trigger resolves, that they draw the cards, and then they look at the card, and they have to put back cards that were drawn with Library. It's like such a wild, like that is probably one of the more complicated tournament Magic scenarios of all time.
It's up there.
It's real tough.
It's up there.
Yes.
The Sylvan was created during a time that shouldn't have been created. Yeah.
If you read the original wording of the card, it's just like, oh, this makes no damn sense.
None whatsoever. Fuck me. Sorry, I just got upheavaled. God damn it.
Oh, upheaval's such a beating.
Oof, that's real rough. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was bad.
Magic's fun. Oh boy. So Matt, I guess I'll do my number 5.
Do your number 4.
Or I do my number 4. I'm sorry. My number 4 is Oracle of Moldiah.
I would never have picked that card.
Oh, I love Oracle, dude. In Cube, in Commander, in all of the things that you can cast Oracle, I love it. Oracle is just one of those cards that when you see it hit the battlefield, if you're not casting it, you're like, that needs to die right now. And if you cast it, you're like, if I get to literally go to my opponent's turn with this, the game is over. And especially in things like my Krufix deck, Oracle's in there. If I have Oracle and Krufix on the battlefield at the same time, there's a good chance that at my next upkeep, I'm winning the game. Because I'm going to have 100 mana.
Really, really big in Commander.
Yo, big time. I would go so far to say how I said that like Avenger of Zendikar was kind of like the Cyclonic Rift of green in Commander. I think Oracle is probably the actual green Cyclonic Rift in Commander. That card is just so powerful and so easy to abuse. I love me some Oracle.
Well, it's just one of those things that, hey, kill this instantly.
Yeah, or else at your untap step, I'm untapping all of my permanents, and then like that's permanents too. So it's like it frees you up to attack while also untapping all of your land. Anything that just produces that much mana advantage is busted out of control.
Oh, absolutely it is.
All right, dude, what's your number 4?
My numero cuatro is Eureka.
Oh, that's a good one. That is like very old school mad of you to say.
The oldest of schools. This is a Legends card that basically, starting with you show and tell, and it goes around until no one goes anymore. But you can continually go. So the idea was kind of like show and tell is now. Big dumb idiots for 4 mana, and you can play multiple.
Yeah. I think Eureka is a trap in Cube because everybody has big things. But in formats where you get to cater your deck around that, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to play 8 different permanents, and you're just going to kill your opponent.
Well, yeah, it's literally one of the best things you can do in old school. There's a deck built around it because
built around just being able to play big idiots.
Like Lord of the Pit and Shivan Dragon are things that you can do, and like
which is so sick.
Yeah,
I almost forgot about Eureka. That's a good include for you for sure.
Yeah, so that's my number 4.
What's your number 3?
My number 3, something very similar, Natural Order.
Ooh, it's
Tinker,
like this was
Tinker
like
for green creatures.
Yeah, Tinker for green creatures is exactly what it is.
Yes,
and
sir.
Again, this is another Elves card where I'm going to go ahead and sack my Elvish Mystic and go get a Progenitus. That's an upgrade. That's a glow up if I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's a big nasty.
I love
and it
that.
just will win games.
Yeah, that's super good. That's a good number 3. I didn't even think about Natural Order just because I also hate Elf. Except, you know what is a really good target for Natural Order?
Llanowar.
No.
Birds of Paradise.
No. You're close though. You're so close.
I don't know.
It's Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Ooh, the Hoof. Is that your number?
Hoof Daddy is my number 3.
It's a good number 3.
I'm going to go ahead and say Crater Hoof Behemoth is the quintessential big green creature. I can't think, can you think off the top of your head a more iconic big green idiot?
Progenitus.
Yeah, Progenitus isn't green.
Cost 2 green.
There's 2 green in the mana cost, you're right. There's also 2 white and 2 black and 2 red.
There's some stuff like Terastodon and what's the thing that persists and blows something up?
Woodfall Primus.
Woodfall Primus. Those are the 2 other ones that I can think of. Or Homeboy, the
Avenger.
The Avenger is Zendikar.
Avenger is Zendikar, yeah. But I think Crater Hoof Behemoth is just the one that most people think of when they think of the biggest green creature they've ever seen. Like that card just comes down.
It's generally a flurry of death.
Yeah, that card comes down and you just don't get another turn after it. You just die. You just get eaten whole. Like it turns a whole field. It turns like 5 1/1s that you had into lethal damage, and you're at 20, and then you're at -10 out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, it's just I was just casually enjoying this game of Magic, and now I'm getting huffed.
Death.
Like how many cards do you know are like just have a term dedicated to them? Like you just get huffed. And when somebody's
not many.
And when somebody says they get huffed, you know exactly what they mean.
Yeah.
Like that is just a sign of an iconic card, and I hate it so much that it's on my top 5. But I love me some Crater Hoof Behemoth. I love like bad beat stories about somebody just getting hoofed to death. So good.
Yeah, how do you not like a good hoof story?
You gotta love it. All right, Matt. Did you do your 3 already?
Yeah, I did my 3. You need to do your
number 2. My number 2 is probably the least surprising number 2 of all time. It is Collected Company.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Collected Company. Because you know what you do with Collected Company? You get some spirit. That's what the card is.
6 mana worth of creatures for 4 mana.
Yeah, it says look at the top cards of your library. Whatever best 2 spirits are in them, just put them on the battlefield. Just go ahead. And I've never been a huge fan of the Bant Spirits deck, but when that deck is good, it is very freaking good. And that card is legitimately the reason why. It's the only really green card in the deck, and it's just to go get more little aggressive creatures. And there's also an entire strategy built around it where you can like combo off with just a combination of 2 creatures. Like there's been times where somebody just goes and casts a Collected Company, gets the 2 things, and then just wins the game.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, with Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies.
Yeah, make infinite mana, and then if you can't win with infinite mana, then don't play decks with infinite mana.
That's fair. It's a fair point. Yeah, so I love Collected Company. It's always been one of the only green cards that I've actually loved. So shout out to that card. Matt, do you have a number 2? Wait, hold on. I already know what your top 2 are. I am trying to guess which order they're going to be in. I am going to say that your number 2 is Birthing Pod.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nailed it!
So, yeah, Birthing Pod. Anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love that card.
It's always been like one of the cards that you have just went to has been like, oh, this is just the best card ever.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cards.
I love it.
Anyone who doesn't know what it does, it's 3 in a Pyrexian green mana for an artifact. You can pay 1 in a Pyrexian green to sacrifice a creature. You search your library for a creature that has 1 additional mana cost than the creature you sacrificed, and you put it into play. So if you sacrifice a 1-drop, you get a 2-drop. If you sacrifice a 3-drop, you get a 4-drop, so on and so forth. Just enables combos, creature combos.
Left and right.
Yeah. It's banned in Modern. The last Legacy event I played Birthing Pod.
Yeah, we talked about that. We have an episode about that, don't we?
Yes.
That's
I love
one of
it.
our live episodes.
It's probably, if we were to do top 5 favorite cards outside of Power and some of that stuff, that is one
That's
of
gotta
mine
be at the top of your list.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I was back and forth between that being your number 1 and your number 2. I think I have your number 1 locked in too.
I'm sure you do. So did you give your number 2?
Yes, my number 2 is Collected Company.
Oh,
so you can do your number 1.
Yep.
But can I announce it?
Yeah, you can announce.
So Matt's number 1
The OG
favorite
Birthing Pod.
green card is the original Birthing Pod. It is Oath of Druid.
Yes.
I know you like the back of my hand.
Yeah, I love. It's still my favorite vintage deck ever. It's legal in that and Commander because it is stupidly powerful. So this is a card from Exodus. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more creatures than you, you may reveal cards or put cards from the top of your library into your graveyard until you reveal a creature card. Put that creature onto the battlefield. And this triggers for both players. So if I have an Oath of Druids and I have 2 creatures out and you have 1, you get to Oath. You can put that trigger on the stack.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
granted,
super likely in the decks that it's in. That's going to happen. That your opponent gets to Oath before you do.
yeah, not really ever. This is very good in Vintage, and it just got a much better due to
Some of the restrictions we've had recently.
Oko.
Oh, yeah, that too. Because Oko's a green card, and so is Oath of Druids.
Yeah, and it gives them a creature. It shuts off their hate pieces, like Grafdigger's Cages. It just says, I don't give a fuck about your Grafdigger's Cage. It's now a 3/3 elk.
Yeah, that's super good. That's just an additional answer, but also just being good.
Yeah, it's
like
just,
giving your opponents creatures?
Yeah,
like, that seems like something you'd want to do.
The biggest part is removing their hate pieces, for sure.
Yeah, but it really pulls double duty with that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
it gives them a creature while also making their Grafdigger's Cage just non-existent.
It's just not very. It's not the best deck. It hasn't been in a long time. It's still one of my favorite decks. I have foil oaths, which were a promo that are now like $50 or $60 a pop.
Yeah, but they're sweet.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Even me not liking foils think those are sweet.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Hell yeah.
So that's my number 1.
That's a good one.
I was trying to think of what your number 1 was. Probably something stupid like Birds of Paradise or Llanowar Elves.
No, my number 1, I'll give you a hint. If you can guess this, you just win accumulated knowledge for this week, just right off the gun. Mine is a 9-mana card.
Terastodon.
It is not Terrasty Nasty, bud.
What's a 9-mana green card? Force of Nature is 8.
You were close with Force of Nature. That is a good one. No, this card is my favorite card to cast in the format of Commander. My number 1 favorite card, and that's like not even saying like my favorite green card to cast in Commander. This is my 100% actual factual favorite card to cast in Commander. No color restriction whatsoever. It is the Great Aurora.
Oh, yeah. I should have known that.
Love this card so much. So for those of you out there who are not familiar,
are a fan of that one.
The Great Aurora, I will never not play this in a green deck, ever. Like, this is one of the reasons why I play green in Commander, because I love this card so much. It is 9 mana, so 6 and 3 green, sorcery speed, and the card says each player shuffles all cards from their hand and all permanents they own into their library then draw that many cards. After you do that, each player puts any number of land cards from their hand onto the battlefield. Then you exile Great Aurora. Yeah.
Yeah, not that very fun. It's actually super fun.
I would say this is the most fun card because it just takes like, there's been plenty of times where there's been board states in Commander where I am like comfortably in the lead and then I have Great Aurora in my hand. And instead of just winning the game, I'm just like, nope, let's spin the dice. And then I screw myself. That's happened so many times. But
I just realized that all 5 of my green cards are combos, enablers.
That's shocker. Real shocking. Yeah. Revelation in your life, Matthew, that you're a combo player. I'm glad we figured it out finally.
All of mine are older too. Not all of them, but
mine's from Magic Origins, so my top one is relatively new.
In the last 6 years or whatever.
Yeah, 2015. But yeah, so the Great Aurora is just so much fun in Commander, and it usually works out better in your favor if you're playing a green deck because you have a bunch of lands that you've been like tutoring into. So if you can do this on turn like 6 after you've like rampant growth and like Kadama's reached your way into the mana and you just do the thing, or if your opponents are just like running away with the game, you're just like, how about you don't do that anymore? And then just wipe their board and leave them with decimated with nothing. Or my favorite thing is too,
you could get them some real big shit.
Late game, after I've already cast like Avenger of Zendikar or something, when I have like 1 million tokens, I've at a point in the game Great Aurora'd for like 40 cards.
Yeah.
And have gotten 1 million different things, like almost cleared my library. And then I've also gotten one of the cards that gives me no limited hands or no maximum hand size. So I just get to keep all the cards that I didn't get, like all the non-land cards. The Great Aurora puts lands in untapped. So I can just cast half of them, and then the other half are just in my hand, just waiting for my opponents to try to do something.
Yeah, get wild with it.
Yeah, I've fucked up many Commander games with the Great Aurora, and my favorite thing about it was that when I discovered that this card existed, I started playing it on Magic Online in the Commander rooms on there. When I started playing the Great Aurora, it was bugged on Magic Arena. Or not on Magic Arena, on Magic Online. So when you cast this card, it crashed the client.
Of course it did. That doesn't surprise me at all.
So that was an entire week of my life where I would jump into the Commander games, just play them, eventually get to cast a Great Aurora, and then blow the game up and blow the client up. And then it just shut down, and then I jumped back in and did it again.
Fair.
Because if I can't win games, you better bet that I'm going to try to fuck them up.
Yeah, just cause a whole bunch of shenanigans to go on.
I love that card. Matt, this is our first top 5 that had 0 overlap.
That doesn't surprise me. I figured you would go with some newer ones, and
you would go with some older ones.
Obviously going to go with some older ones, yeah.
I mean, we both have really good top 5s. Green cards are actually sweet. As much as I like talking shit on green, there are some cool ones out there.
There are definitely some cool ones.
Hell yeah. So, Matt, before we jump into our game, I actually have a question to ask.
What's up?
This is something that I didn't have in my notes, but I just remembered, and it's something that I have been thinking about for a little bit, and we have never talked about. I know you're still feeling a little bit salty about the Mox Opal ban in Modern.
Yeet.
But let me suggest to you a solution.
Don't play Modern?
No. How about in Modern, what if we unban the artifact land? I like that just decisive
I don't know if it would be busted. I feel like it probably would be.
But like with what? Because Core Clan Ironworks is gone. Mox Opal is gone. What else is left? Like you can still only play one of them a turn. The only deck
Ravager
that
Affinity.
Would play it would be Affinity.
Ravager Affinity.
That deck doesn't exist right now. Do you think that would give it? I mean, that would give it legs, but I don't think it would be too good.
Not yet. I think those are just aching to be broken.
I think those might be the safest card on the ban list on ban.
Maybe now that Opal is gone.
That was my thought. Like Opal's gone, KCI is gone. All of the things that really bust those cards wide open.
I still don't think it would be doable.
Like if there was a card that made sense in that deck that lets you play like multiple lands a turn, maybe it would be too good. But there's not a card that I can think of in my brain that makes sense to make those busted. Like you're still limited to 1 per turn. Where in that deck you're just playing multiple artifacts a turn anyway, but none of them can really produce mana. I think those are safe.
I don't think that they would be. I feel like something would break them wide open.
I just wanted to feed that information to you and just have you sleep on that.
My initial impression is no.
Too good.
Too good. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that they would be.
And after thinking about it for a little bit, that was my initial first impression was no. Too good. And then I thought about it and I was like, but really? Would they be? Probably not.
I think they would be. Like
Well,
I said,
Wizards.
I don't know how or why yet, but I think they would be.
Well, if there's anything that this podcast has told me over the months that we've been doing it, we know that Wizards is listening. So Wizards, just go ahead, just think about it, let it percolate, maybe set them free, give us some time to play with that. I think that would be a fun modern format.
I don't think it would be, dude. They're banned in fucking Block Constructed.
Yeah, but that Block Constructed, is a fucking pile, though.
I could see something like that, like legitimate affinity that is way too fast. They literally turn into Soul Land.
How so?
With affinity cards?
Yeah, but like, what affinity cards are worth playing in that deck?
It doesn't matter if you get a bunch of free 2/2s and 4/4s. It turns out that's really good. Have you heard of Eye of Ugin?
I don't think it's fair to try to compare those to Eye of Ugin.
I think they're better.
Oh, no, I don't think that's true at all. Because I think the quality of creature that you're casting off of Eye of Ugin is so much higher.
Yeah, but you can only ever have one Eye of Ugin. You can have 24 in your deck if you really want to.
But you're also playing them in an aggressive deck. Like, the biggest thing you're casting is a vanilla 4/4.
Until you fucking play a Tog or there's too many artifacts. It's just literally a free artifact that you're getting with your land drop. Yes, you do open yourself up to null artifacts like not rest in peace, Stony Silence. Oof.
Yeah, Collector Roof is a beating.
But
like,
if I were to take a guess,
that's another thing.
I think they're too strong.
The hate cards out there, do you think the hate cards have finally caught up to that where the hate cards are effective enough that it would be able to keep them in line?
I don't know. I feel like there's something that we're not seeing that's just above the surface. That's someone big. Oh, yeah, this is why they're banned.
Oh, there's just somebody out there who's just like waiting for the moment where they unban those. They're like, you fucking idiots, and they just ruin everything.
Yeah, I think it's just too much of a free thing.
That's fair.
I
just had to poke the bear.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know, to be honest.
That's a big old question mark for me as well. I'm not entirely sure.
But you are right. With Opal and KCI, those things for sure fucking not.
Yeah, those were the very obvious, like, these cards are too good.
Yeah, KCI was just a deck that was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you just would never be able to do it.
Yeah, but they might be. They might be fine. They might not be. You no say.
Well, maybe we'll see. Or maybe we won't.
I don't foresee them shutting it down.
I don't foresee them being letting that floodgate open. But those are, I mean, because we have all this time in quarantine, those nagging thoughts,
they just percolate.
They just gather in the skull and just rattle around in that old cranium of mine. Just makes you think, makes you go, huh, maybe.
Well, that's I was like, huh.
And that was your exact response. You were like, huh, I love it. Dude, now that I poked the bear, do you want to get to the real fun?
You were just trying to throw me off, you son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, just get your mind going with that. This is actually, I'm in the long con right now. I just wanted to bring that up right before we jump into accumulated knowledge, just to get you thrown off the trace.
I know your game.
You got me. Well, dude, are you ready to play?
I suppose so.
Some accumulated knowledge?
Bring it.
Well, let me explain it first. So for those of you new to this deal, accumulated knowledge is the game we play every single week. In this game, we go into the Scryfall website, and one of us hits the random card generating button. A random card pops up, and one of us asks the other the name of the Magic the Gathering card. The other one has to get the mana cost of the card. If they get it right, they get a point. And if they don't, they have to draft mono red in cube for the rest of the time that it's on Magic Online.
That's the worst.
I mean, you'd get a lot of play points.
Yeah.
You should get underneath people.
But at what cost?
Fun. Fun is the cost.
Fair.
But so Matt, you get 2 hints? 3 hints?
2 hints.
You get 2 hints. I'm losing my mind here, bud. And you have to get 4 out of 5 right. This first one that I have pulled up for you, a doozy.
Ready.
Your first one is... Oh, you're focused now?
Mind focused.
Your first one is Seed of the Sidon. No. It is Auroch Siege Sled. Auroch Siege.
I'm thinking white or red.
Everything in its path is either pushed aside or ground under.
I don't know. I don't want to waste a hint on this.
This is a toughie.
I'm going to 3 in a red final answer.
Matt, you are so wrong. It is
Auroch is the white red.
Colorless.
Oh.
Yeah. It is an
Yeah, what
artifact
is that?
creature, Juggernaut, and for 1 colorless, target artifact creature blocks Auroch Siege Sled this turn if able, and for another colorless, target artifact creature can't block Auroch Siege Sled this turn. It is a 3/5.
That is terrible.
It is from Darksteel and has seen no other printings.
Yeah, thankfully. That's real bad. I would have not gotten that even with
Yeah,
2
that
hints.
one's a real tough one. I think you might get this one though. You've definitely played this card. It is Parhelion Patrol.
Hellion Patrol.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is from one of the newer sets.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 2/3.
Is it?
It's not, is it?
Oh, what color is it then?
Pretty sure it's white.
So 1 white is your answer.
It's like no, no, cheeky fuck. It's like the Griffin style, like 2/3 flying. Pretty sure it's 4 mana. This one I think is 3 and a white.
Matt, is that your final answer?
I think so.
Are you sure though?
I'm confident enough that I don't want to waste a hint.
Sure. Okay. So you're saying locking in that in.
Yeah,
Matt, Parhelion Patrol is 3 and a white.
I thought so. It's flying, and then it has, I want to say vigilance and some other text.
It is a 2/3 flyer. You're right. It does have vigilance, and it also has mentor. This card is
Yeah.
from Guilds of Ravnica.
I knew it's one of the newer ones. I've definitely
is-
played with this card.
It is part of the Boros Guild. Yeah, I've actually played against you while you've cast for
Yeah.
sure. All right, you ready to go to 3?
I suppose so.
Well, you should be ready because you're going to get this one in 0.3 seconds. It is Lightning Helix.
Oh, that's white and a red.
Matt, actually, it is red and a white.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is red and a white for an instant speed spell. It deals 3 damage to any target to any target, and you gain 3 life.
Yeah,
Just
That one
a
works.
actual classic burn spell.
yeah, that was a cakewalk.
Matt, your next one is Warrior Token.
0.
No, your actual next one is Charging Griffin.
I'm pretty sure that's also, it's either 2 and a white or 3 and a white. Pretty sure it's,
4 claws, 2 wings,
I'm
1
gonna
beak,
stick with what I know. It's 3
no
and a white.
fear.
No fear, 3 and a white.
Ooh, you locking that in?
I'm locking it in, no fear.
Oh,
It's a
well, you're right.
griffin. All the
It's-
griffins
yeah,
are
it's
4
definitely a
mana.
griffin. It is. You're right. Charging Griffin is 3 and a white for a 2/2 flyer, and whenever it attacks, it gets a +1/+1 to the end. Like I said, 4 claws, 2 wings, 1 beak, no fear. That's
No fear.
great flavor text.
No
All
fear,
right.
homeboy.
Matt, this one is for all the marbles, and you also have both your hints. Still. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
This is a tough one.
Oof.
It is Northern Paladin.
Oh, this is the, I know this one. This is the white one.
Is it?
Yeah, and it destroys a black creature.
Ooh.
This is old. This is like alpha beta.
Do you have any idea what the text is, or what the not the text the mana cost is?
Do I want to use a hint or do I want to be a fucking savage?
Well, one of them is probably smart, and the other one is not using any.
What was the Charger Griffin? No fear.
Well, it had 1 beak and no fear.
I'm pretty sure that I know these because there was a white one and a black paladin.
This could be the greatest mistake of your accumulated knowledge career.
Bro, no fear. I'm gonna go 4 mana, and I'm pretty sure it's 2 white.
Ooh, Matt, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Northern Paladin, its mana cost is 2 colorless and 2 white mana.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because it
Yeah.
destroys a black creature.
Yeah, it and its text is it's a 3/3, and for 2 white you can tap it and destroy target black permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah,
There's a black paladin too.
I'm assuming that is black, tap it, destroy target white permanent.
No, destroys a different color.
Oh, really?
Really.
That's
I wanna-
interesting.
What are the allied colors? What's the allied colors with black?
Is that Grixis? Let me look at the back of a magic card real quick. Yeah, Grixis is the allied. So
it destroys.
destroys a target green color, green creature,
It's green, yeah,
or green permanent, I guess.
yeah, because it's not white. Because I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Huh.
And then
Interesting.
there's another white one. I forget what set it's from. It's old. I only knew that one because it's old and building old school decks.
That's fair. It is an old card. That is definitely for sure. It's from Alpha, Beta, Unlimited. The one that I got specifically is a gold bordered one from Collector's Edition.
It's the worst one.
Yeah, and the Alpha ones are worth $65.
Yeah, it's a rare, isn't it?
It is a rare. What
That's
a
why.
mess.
Because it's a rare. That was good back in the day.
Yeah, sure. Good has definitely changed over the time, but back in the day, that would be considered a good card.
Yeah, this was good against Jism Jin.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Get you good. That's your best creature in your deck, and now it's dead. I love that.
Do I get anything for not using any hints? That was a ballsy move.
Well, you know what I'll give you for that, Matt? I will give you the shout out for the week. How's that sound?
So my shout out is Stu Summers. You can find him on Twitter at ssummers SOMERS 55. He often sells a lot of high end Magic stuff.
He does.
So he's one of those guys who will just post stuff and specifically like older stuff or higher end stuff, higher end foils,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he always does this fun thing on Twitter where he changes his name. So currently he is Stew into Spring, and it's always a riff off of his name.
I love that.
So go check him out.
Yeah, and he does crazy deals sometimes too.
Yeah, because they're trying to get rid of shit, and he's like, "Hey, buy this stuff."
It's just like at buy list prices or lower than buy list prices. He's like, I'm giving this away for free, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout outs too. Good guy.
Yeah, so at SSOMERS 55 on Twitter.
Beautiful. Good shout out, dude.
Put the tiger in a corner. Tiger strikes.
All right, dude. Well, there's another one in the books. And again, I don't know if if this is gonna be the best episode or the worst episode, but
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, we'll wait to see if people enjoy it or not, and then if they do, we in the future could do an episode where you've mentioned it before, and we almost did it this episode where we do like a little half episode where it's only like an hour or so, or like 45 minutes, and then after we're done with the episode, we just jump in and we record a video, and then we'll try to release them around the same time.
Yeah, and you can go watch us play Magic.
Who knows? That might even be next week.
Yeah, especially with not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, like there's very little going on in Magic, and we do have Vintage Cube right now, so we could just end up doing that. Give us some feedback, because that would be helpful in giving you guys what you want, because that's our entire goal. Also, yeah. I was thinking about this earlier. We're rapidly approaching like the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something for that.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, so we're going to start having to brew and throwing out some ideas and seeing what people are into for that. I'm sure we can get Corey in on it. We have a bunch of people that we've mentioned a million times. It would be cool to get them in on it.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
We're going to have to figure something out. But if you're willing to give us feedback, please do. The best way to do it is at Twitter. Our Twitter is fetch_shock. And also, if you want to just yell at me personally, you can yell at me on Twitter at Basic Land Bin. And if you want to tell Matt that he sucks at Cube, you can do that at It's Bop.
I got good. I got.
You know what? You can blame it on being distracted because you were trying to record a podcast while also doing it.
Dope. I blame it on upheaval entirely.
Yeah, that's fair. Upheaval does just get people. That's something.
Yeah, that got me.
Upheaval will sneak up on you like a little snake. All right, dude. Well, I'm going to go and finish my Cube draft.
Yeah, not a bad call. I'll probably finish mine tomorrow because I have work in the AM.
If you're not busy, stop by the Fetch and Shock Twitch. We're going to be doing some Cube drafting.
Yeah, I'm for sure down with that.
Hell yeah. So, Matt, that means I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good, buddy.
Well, until then, peace out, nerds!
I was going to see how long you were doing without me doing it. Peace!
You